Hi everyone, welcome to today's catch-up chat with Phumla Sithole from Mzansi Queer Radio. In this conversation, we explore queer storytelling, radio, self-care, inspiration, and what it truly means to create space for voices that deserve to be heard in South Africa and beyond. How are you, Phumla? And compliments of the season to you.
Hi, Sid. I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for asking. And compliments to the new season to you too, or to the new year, and to yours as well.
Thanks. And yeah, it's a pleasure to catch up with you and to get the ball rolling. It's great to catch up. How has this current season of your life been treating you both personally and professionally?
Um, looking into my radio space currently, we took a little bit of a short break. So yeah, it's been good to just regroup, just to rejuvenate. And with that being said as well, it has given me an opportunity to also just look back on the year of
Mhm.
2025 and my career in the radio space or in the Cure radio space and what was missing and what I could have done better. And personally was just to also gear myself up and also just to um, get more knowledge, do more research to be more informed about the Cure space since I am an ally. So I work around a lot of Cure. So it's very important to stay updated with what is happening and the gaps as well, just to identify them and see how I can be able to cover that for this coming year.
Yeah. All right. Oh, what moments on the show recently have stayed with you the most?
Um, I think before we had our closing, we had an end year party where we attended, or we basically, it was planned around a very significant and iconic place called Tologazi. We gathered there
Okay.
as part of our end year closing for the station, just to take a little short break. And that day just gave me time to reflect on a lot that we've done as a team, a lot that we've achieved as a team, how we've grown as a team, and individually as well, how we've grown. So looking back at that and the support, especially from my colleagues, from my boss, Nosi, I mean, it's been amazing. So I would definitely say that in the last season was just mostly about reflection.
Okay. I have a question for you in the comments. Are you okay if I open that up to you now?
Absolutely, yeah.
Sure. All right. This is from Jitin Reshika. Hi, Pamela. Wishing you well into motherhood. How did radio make a difference in your life?
Yeah, I'm one person. I always say that I'm very open-minded and outspoken.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
think, joining radio, I joined it through a difficult time in my life where I just lost my mother. So I would say
Oh, okay.
how it changed me was I was able to I'm one person that deals with major depression and anxiety, which was diagnosed after my mom's passing. And it was a lot to deal with. And how the radio has changed my life is just giving me an opportunity and a space to open up about, my condition, and only to find that a lot of people in the cure space also go through that due to the fact that a lot of people have to deal with opening up, people getting out of the closet, being comfortable in the cure space. So I've grown immensely in this space, and it was easy for me to also deal with my condition and to openly talk about it. It really helped my healing journey, and just being surrounded by positive people as well has also truly helped to get to where I am. I'm more open now. I'm more open
Mm.
to spaces and people around me. So it's been absolutely, um, yeah, I would say it was the most comforting place that I could actually be in, up to date, I would say.
Okay. As a presenter,
Yeah.
how has your storytelling or interviewing style evolved since you first started radio?
Ooh, I must be very honest. When I started, at first I felt all
Mhm.
over the place. It's like I didn't know what I was doing. But I've realized with everything that you do, you have to do research. So I've
Mm.
learned to sit down and research not only about the guest that's coming in to be able to interview them much better, but also the interviewing styles, the kind of questions that would get people intrigued and glued,
Mm.
and for our viewers to listen and get excited about, um, getting to know any person that you invite on the show. I mean, it's people that, the viewers or the listeners are not familiar with. So you need to find a way to excite them, on the interview. So your style has to adapt because you're dealing with so many different
Yeah.
people, which means your styles also have to be different and the approach has to be different. So I would mainly say I'm finding myself doing research, yeah, so I think I'm becoming a good researcher.
Okay, that's awesome. What
Yeah.
conversations within the queer community do you feel are still not getting enough space or honestly on air?
For now, it's truly difficult to say, but, looking at how the cure community is evolving on a daily, it's it's covering a lot of the gaps, and seeing how many queer people are getting opportunities in the media space, not only in corporates, but mostly in the media space. And I think it's a good thing because it gives other people an opportunity to also be comfortable in their skin. So I think we
Yeah.
really need to have more recognition when it comes to cure, awards, I'm talking events. I mean, currently we know that pride is the, driving force when it comes to the cure community. It would be nice to see more events covering just the cure space and recognizing talent within the cure space and talent within the cure space. So I would definitely say we need more spaces where more people can be able to be involved, come out, be comfortable in their skin, and just be comfortable to talk about their sexuality as well.
Yeah. Radio
Yeah.
can be emotionally demanding. How do you practice self-care while holding space for others' stories?
Oh, it's very challenging, I will definitely say, because you have to find a balance. Working for a community radio station, one needs to know and understand the fact that, um, it's not the only job that, some of us have. We have our 9 to 5s, and then you have, um, your radio gig. So you can imagine, having to adapt or to transform from your office job, and transforming into the radio space. So it can be quite emotionally demanding because at times
Oh,
you are needed professionally in your corporate and you're also needed within the radio space, and sometimes the two, find themselves clashing, and it can be overwhelming. It can be you can find yourself even mentally unstable or finding yourself all over the place. But the one thing that I'm able to do is just to put time aside, just to focus on the radio. And when it comes to emotional part of that, it's just taking the time off. Sometimes it's important to take the time off. And I think the nice thing about, the station that we work for is that at times you get a weekend off where you are not in studio, but your show still runs as per normal. So that gives you that time off just to regroup, just for you to rest your mind, just to gather yourself again, depending on what you do to relax. You either sleep enough, go out for a massage, go out to watch a movie, but just to be in a different space. But whichever space that you're in, you're still gathering information for your next week's show. So you are forever working. So I would say personally for me, currently resting, staying indoors, spending time with family gets me emotionally balanced.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who or what has been inspiring you lately, whether in media, activism, music, or everyday life?
Whew. I would say currently the one person that inspires me, the one person that motivates me. I wouldn't even say it's that one person. I would definitely say it's my family.
Okay.
They inspire me because they're very supportive, especially in this cure space. They're very supportive in a sense that, as much as they're not familiar with the surroundings, but whatever it is that I need to do, they are part of it to show me the
Mhm.
support. But if I had to mention a lot of people, I've met so many advocates within the cure space, by attending events. And you get really inspired how passionate people are about the cure community and how important it is to educate people about it. So honestly, for me, I would definitely say currently in the space that I'm in, it's definitely my family that keeps me supportive, grounded, and that inspires me to continue even when it's tough, even when I'm blocked and I have no ideas. People will start bringing out ideas. How about you talk about this? How about you invite someone like this? So they definitely keep me going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looking back, what has been one of the most affirming or powerful moments of your journey in queer media?
My powerful moments. My powerful moment is feeling comfortable
Mhm.
in the cure space. When you are uninformed about the cure community, you kind of feel lost. It's like you don't
Okay.
know where you fit in, because when you are surrounded by so much, so many people, and sometimes you find yourself saying the wrong things because you don't know
Mm.
how to say certain things, things like the pronouns, and how to approach someone who is lesbian, someone who's gay, someone who's trans. Understanding all of that can become too much information for one person. But for me, I think memorable moments, it's just being comfortable in a space where I'm able to say I don't know, and I want to know. How can I learn? And you ask questions. And one thing I've realized is that the queer community are one of the most friendliest community you could ever be. And you get to find yourself in a space where you are comfortable with who you are. I normally say, when I'm attending all queer events, your prides events, and so forth. And I said, the one thing I love about being in the space is that this community allows you to be who you want to be.
Mm.
You can express yourself in however way you want to, and there's no judgment. So I think it's one of the most memorable things for me that I can say, look, right now, I could do the with the cure space any day, anytime.
Wow. How do you see
Yeah.
the role of queer radio shifting in South Africa today, especially for younger listeners?
It's shifting quite slow,
Hmm.
simply because the generation now is always on the move. They always have to attend something. they always have to go somewhere. So the shift currently is just, it's quite disturbing in a way that how do we grab and keep our listeners loyal, you know, especially for community radio stations. It's quite difficult and challenging. It's a lot of work, but because we're so passionate about what we do, we we go way beyond to get the station's word out there, to get ourselves known out there, not only as a station but also as presenters as well. So as well. So currently I'm seeing it shifting in a direction where eventually radio should definitely be online, because then people are
Okay.
able to catch it whenever, wherever they are. It's not to say if you're in a different area, you're able to log on to the station. If you're in a different frequency, you can only listen to the station. But having an online radio station is quite convenient because, look, you could be anywhere in the world. I mean, I've
Mm.
met so many people from overseas during our attendance with the Pride, and most people that we met were from Texas, Colorado, from the UK, and most of them were like, we are able to listen to your show while we're that side. So the shift should definitely be towards them.
Okay. If you
Yeah,
weren't in radio for a moment, what other creative or advocacy path could you see yourself exploring?
educating.
Hmm.
I do see myself educating more people about the queer community. You know, being around
Hmm.
homophobes, non-homophobes, and just generally people that are outside of the queer space, will you still find yourself in an argument, in a conversation where people still question people's sexuality? People are still against other people's sexuality. So in this space, I would like to advocate and see myself educating people more. Um, because I think when you have a when you have more information, you have a better understanding of what you're dealing with, and it's easier to understand than to judge. So currently, I'm surrounded by so many people that judge the space that I'm in, and look, I fight tooth and nail if you say anything that is offensive to the queer community, and I've gotten to a point where I feel like I'm definitely advocating for it, to say, how can I create a platform, not only through radio, to educate people, but to be able to just educate people on a daily, during work, being around friends, traveling, just being in different spaces. But for me, most importantly, I really wish I could have an opportunity to just educate people.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
What message or reminder would you love to leave with queer listeners who may be struggling to feel seen or heard right now?
The message that I would have would be, find your safe space first, for anyone that is struggling to be accepted, for anyone that is struggling to come out, for anyone that is still confused about their sexuality, there are safe spaces. Find your safe space. And a safe space is not a hospital, is not a clinic. A safe space could be someone that you really trust, that you can openly talk about your sexuality, the challenges that you come across. Um, but one important thing as well is that be out there, go out, attend cure events. As much as you haven't decided to come out, or you haven't decided your sexuality, or you haven't even maybe realize whereabout you fall under. I think going out and finding out more information, talking to the right people, making you understand more about your sexuality, it'll make it easier for you to either come out. But one important thing, find a safe space.
Wow. All I got to say, thanks so much for your time, and I hope to catch up with you soon in the future.
Thank you so much, Sid. This has been definitely lovely.
You're most welcome.
All right.